All right, am I in focus? We'll see this time. I've already tried to do this once. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy. Thank y'all so much for being here. Today's video is going to be a really fun Q&A. I asked y'all a couple days ago on my communities tab on YouTube if y'all would be interested in a Q&A video like this. And I had a lot of input, a lot of questions. I actually had questions on my YouTube video that I just uploaded, and I also had questions on my Instagram video, not my Instagram video, my Instagram DMs. And a lot of y'all were just curious about who I am, what I like to do, what are my hobbies, you know, some little personal things. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's not gonna be like a cut and dry video. So get you a drink, get you a snack, get you a blanket if you want to, if it's chilly where you're at, and we're just gonna have fun. It's Saturday. I'm gonna try to upload this today without a whole lot of editing, and let's just get into it. First question comes from Anita. I think she's a relatively new subscriber here on my channel, and she says, you asked your followers for some questions in a personal Q&A. Here are my questions. I live in an apartment. I do have a lot of space to put my clothes away, but even that is not enough since I buy too much. I give away clothes regularly, clothes that don't fit or too old, or not my taste anymore, bags and bags that I give away. Where do you leave all of your clothes? You buy a lot also to show your followers. How do you manage your space and your clothes? That's a good question. And it's a question that I actually get quite a bit. So I'm gonna put my paper away so I can use my hands. I am a Capricorn. And sometimes that doesn't mean a whole lot to people if you're not really into astrology. I kind of am into astrology to a certain point, but I am a organized, I'm an organized bitch. I organize everything. I have a place for everything and everything in its place, and that's just how I like to live my life. It just keeps me in like a happy place, and I do that in my spare time. I think it's fun. So your question is, where do you put all your stuff? So whenever I get in bags of clothes, which either from brands or either I buy it myself, I might get like 20 pieces a month, give or take a little bit. Sometimes it's more in a month, sometimes it's less than a month, but generally speaking, it's about 20 pieces of clothes. And I will usually keep 2, 3, maybe 4 of those pieces. And the rest of it goes to friends, it goes to donation, it goes to my kids because I have 2 daughters. It goes to my kids' friends. I generally kind of have a tear down effect. So it comes from me and then just sort of goes out if it doesn't fit well, if I just generally don't like it, if I thought that it was one thing online and it turned out to be another, that's a new one. If it turned out to be another, then I will just generally donate it. But that's kind of how I do most of my things. If I buy something, say for instance, my Walmart hauls are meant to present something to you. And I kind of do the exact same thing where I'll keep, if I buy, say 5 things, I'll keep maybe 3 of them or 2 of them. Sometimes I keep all of them. It just depends. You buy this t-shirt and you think, okay, that's a great t-shirt. It's something that I'm going to use. It's something that's good for every day. And then you get it home and you realize you have 8 other ones just like it. That probably is going to go back. But if I go and get a t-shirt that is a little bit different than something else, or it fits different, it makes my boobs look good, then I will keep it. So I have a closet that I keep all of my like winter and long sleeve stuff, my dresses and jumpsuits. I did a whole closet tour in a video, I want to say like a month or 2 ago, and I sort of showed y'all where I put my shoes, how I organize my shoes, where I put my long sleeve and my winter stuff, and then where I put my short sleeve stuff. And then I have a chest of drawers. So generally speaking, that's what I do. And you know, excess is a thing. And I do understand that you can kind of accumulate stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff, but I don't really do that. In fact, and I'm just going to tell you a really quick story. When we moved into this house, which was 3 years ago, we came with nothing. So I had 1 pair of shoes. I had hardly any clothes. because, and I've told this story before, I don't want to become a broken record. In 2016, our whole parish, so I'm from Louisiana, was called parishes instead of counties there. We flooded. My house flooded, the cars flooded, we lost 2 vehicles, we lost our cars, my parents lost their house. It was like a huge thing in the parish. So many people lost so much stuff. It was unbelievable. It was a historic flood. Like 100,000 people were affected. Long story short, we lost what we lost, either from water or mold or both. It just depended on the situation. It was the middle of August. So in South Louisiana, it's like 90 to 100 degrees, and mold grows fast, especially in a house that's damp. And so getting the stuff out of the house was a time crunch. And then even if we got it out like the next day or the day after, it was already pretty much ruined. Some of the clothes went to dry cleaners. The mold ate through all the coloring. It had a smell. You could not get that smell out. So that was that. Then a couple of months later, so we lived in different places. Basically, we were homeless, but not technically homeless. We lived with my mother-in-law for a couple of months. I can't remember how long, like from August to November, I think it was, of 2016. And we ended up getting a FEMA trailer. We moved into the FEMA trailer. It was a tiny little FEMA trailer. And we lived there for over a year. And it was the grossest, nastiest FEMA trailer ever. It grew so much mold. I'm going to include pictures right now. And it grew so much mold. It grew mold in our food. It grew mold on our clothes, on our mattresses, on our sheets, on everything. So when we bought this house, we couldn't bring anything but a couple of things that were in storage. I was able to save a little bit of makeup. I was able to save like my daughter's baby pictures that was in storage. Anything that was in storage, we were able to move up here. Anything that was not in storage that was, riddled with mold, we couldn't move because mold just is this unbelievable organism that just infects everything. It was just terrible. So long story short, we didn't have a whole lot here. We didn't have a lot of clothes. So I'm not building off of years of accumulation. I'm building off of 3 years of accumulation. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the second part of Anita's question is, I saw in one of your videos that your kid is grown up and out of the house for study, college, university. Is that right? Is that one of the reasons why you started your YouTube channel, just to have something to do? That's partially the reason. My oldest is 20. She has been going to college for a couple of years now since she graduated high school. She graduated high school here, where we live now. And she is about to transfer to a major university. So she lives here now. She, commutes from college and here back and forth. But since the coronavirus has been, it's all been virtual school. She'll go to school for like a meeting or something, but that's like a one-on-one. And then she lives here. Basically, point blank, she lives here, and she's not considering leaving the home until she transfers into the major university, which is supposed to be in January. But I mean, who knows what we're going to do in January? It might be virtual school still, and so she'll be living here still. I also have a younger daughter who just turned 16, who also lives here as well. So that's not why I started a YouTube channel. My original reason to start a YouTube channel was I wrote for a website. So I started a website in like 2008, 2009 called Uhapi Beauty. That's how the YouTube channel ended up being Uhapi Beauty. And I would write all these different articles about different makeup releases and stuff. So if I'm talking about pigmentation in an article, it's hard to understand. It's hard to like see it in your mind's eye what I'm talking about. But if I can show you, as well as, it's kind of like a read along, if I could show you and tell you about it, then I think people were able to grasp it a whole lot better. So I did that for a really long time. And when we moved into this house, I was still continued to do it. So 2018, 2019. And since I started being more proactive here on YouTube, I kind of let it go to the wayside I can't remember the last time I wrote. It was probably been about a year ago. So that's why I actually started my YouTube channel. I enjoy doing YouTube. It's a good hobby for me. I don't make money from it a whole lot. Sometimes if I make a really like good video, then I'll get some money from it, but it definitely doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't pay my bills at all. And I don't know if, you know, I like growing and I like having new subscribers and I like having this to do. It's a lot of fun, but I've succeeded to where I'm perfectly happy if I just stay exactly the same. If I don't get another subscriber, if I don't have, you know, 1 million subscribers or 100,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers, I'm perfectly happy. This is something that I really do enjoy. I love the creative process of this. I like to sit down and edit and sort of make things kind of quirky and fun because that's how my personality is. I'm kind of quirky and fun. I like to have a good time. And so whenever I edit a video, I kind of want it to be the same way. I want it to be quirky and fun and you have a good time. So that's why I do it. So the next question that she had, which is also a good question, is do you have a paid job? Right now, I do not have a paid job. I lost my job in 2016 when the company flooded. I actually had 4 jobs. I had a full-time job doing my blog. So I wrote for uhapibeauty.com. Like I said before, I've kind of let that go to the wayside a bit. But that was a good source of Google AdSense. I did get a whole lot of traffic at that time. And then I also wrote for a newspaper. It was a Ask Mandy column. It was like makeup and beauty questions that people had. And I also wrote for their recipes. So you know how you open up a regular newspaper and it has like the recipes in there? I wrote all of those. So that was my job. I was also a freelance makeup artist for Lancome, and I did freelance makeup for myself, which I still sort of do. So the answer to your question is I do have a paying job. Every once in a while I'll do like freelance makeup for some of my daughter's friends, that type of thing, like pageants, if they have pageants or dances or something like that. My oldest daughter, she has some friends, and so I've done makeup for them. But besides that, not really. I lost my big makeup kit in that flood, and I had 2 actually, and you spend so much damn time and money investing in the perfect products to put in those kits, and then for it all to just go away in one day. I just didn't have the money or the energy or the time or the want or the need to invest all that time and money into another makeup kit. So yeah, that's my answer. Who shoots your videos and photos? I do. I do all of my videos. I do all of my photos. If you are watching me twist and turn and dance and talk and whatever, it's me. That's all me. Okay, this is a really good question. This is also from Anita. She asked, how do you deal with people who recognize you in real life? Honey, I don't. I have never had anybody recognize me in real life. But if they did, I would be absolutely more than welcome to. I'm a hugger. I'm going to hug you. Even with coronavirus, if I'm masked up, I'm still going to hug you. All right, so my next question is from my friend Munish, and he is a longtime subscriber. He is from India, so his English is just a little bit broken, so I'm just going to read it how it is. So he says, "Hi, lovely Mandy. Hola, friend. Please tell us your birthday, family photos, hobbies, and which city do you belong in US? Tell us your life story, lovely baby Mondo." I love it when he calls me Mondo. "You are my most favorite girl on YouTube, but you don't think I'm your friend. Jesus fulfill you with everything. Bye." So if you follow Munish's comments consecutively on my videos, he always makes me laugh. I love his comments. He is very, very sweet, and he is very like a loyal subscriber, so I always appreciate him. So yes, my birthday is in January. It's January 16th. Family photos. So I got some photos. I had to go digging. I had to ask for my mom for most of these because, as I mentioned before, we don't have a whole lot of pictures. We flooded, so this is basically what I could muster up. This is 1985, so Back to the Future. 1985. So this is my picture from 1985. And as you can see, I have really short hair. So somebody actually asked me a couple days ago, have I ever had short hair? Yes, I have had short hair. This is a picture of me whenever I was 17. I was going through a rave/goth phase. And this is what it looks like. So I'm not really sure if you can see it because of the glare from the lights. I have like 2 box lights and a circle light in front of me. But this is what that one looks like. So I'm in all black. I got the choker. I got the lipstick. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time back then. So the next picture I'm going to show you, I don't even know what grade that I was in. This is from my mom. This is like a yearbook picture. God forbid this is a yearbook picture, but it is. And my cousin Karen actually cut my hair like this, and she dressed me. So she was my stylist at the time. So this is what I look like. Look at this hairdo. Oh man, that's horrible. So I had on a hot pink shirt. I had on, I remember this because my cousin made it for me. I think she made it in high school. It was a black, like a mini skirt, like a ruched mini skirt. And I think she got me the hot pink hoops to go along with it, and she cut my hair. So in a prior Q&A, I talk about having hair like Bon Jovi. That's the haircut. And then a couple of months later, I had it frost-tipped. And then this is another picture of me. This is me with my oldest daughter. So this was probably in 2000, 2001. And of course, my fashion sense was not that great. I mentioned in another Q&A video that it was like what are one of the best places that you have ever visited or something like that. Where would you want to live or something? And I said Carmel, California, because Carmel, California is like the most beautiful, lovely place in California. It's so, so pretty. So this is a photograph from that time. So this is me being a goofball. This is my mom and this is my dad. And they're still married, still together. So that is family photos and photos that you asked for. What else did you ask for? Munish, what'd you ask for? Family photos, hobbies. YouTube. YouTube is my hobby. Ballin'. Big ballin' is my hobby. What city do I live in? I don't want to say the city that I live in, but I live in North Alabama now. So I'm from South Louisiana. I lived in Baton Rouge, and I moved from there because we flooded. So we moved to higher ground. All right, next question is, what celebrity, influencer, random person on the internet style do you dig the most? This is from Kim Sebastian. As I mentioned before, I take a lot of inspiration from different eras. So it's like 70s. I like to take like it's teeny weeny things from there and kind of coordinate it into something that's a little bit more modern now. The 80s, I like to take a little bit from there. I would say people, as in like fashion icons, would be like Andre 3000. He is a rapper from Outkast, but he dresses in the coolest sort of way. Like he wears what he likes. He wears what he wants. It's not any sort of like he has to wear this and he has to wear that. He just wears whatever the hell he wants to. If he wants to wear like plaid green, really tight pants that's like flannel looking, he wears that with really cool boots and his hair like long and slicked down. And I love his fashion sense. It's so, so fun. I want to be able to feel free about wearing what the hell I want to. A lot of people they're like, oh, I don't understand why you like to wear ripped up pants and it just makes you look grubby. I'm grubby. I'm grubby, and that's how I like to dress. Okay, next question. Have you considered doing vlogs? What are your hobbies during COVID, and how are your daughters doing? I have considered doing vlogs. I just don't know if they would be interesting enough. I guess I'd have to I don't know, try it out, but I would need a new camera because the camera that I'm filming this on is a Canon 70D. It's quite heavy. It just wouldn't seem feasible. I don't think I could do it. My daughters are doing fan-freaking-tastic. They're doing excellent. My oldest, who, as I mentioned earlier, is 20, and she's about to be going into a major university, into the medical field. She wants to be a doctor. And I don't know if y'all know this, I've mentioned it a couple times here on my channel before, but she has autism. And when she was a baby, I knew immediately. Like whenever she was like 9 months old, I had that book. It was called What to Expect While Expecting. And in that book, it tells you different milestones that the child is supposed to be, I guess, mastering at that certain age. And consecutively, like month after month after month, she was missing the mark. And I constantly raised this up to my pediatrician, her pediatrician at the time, and it was always blown off. It was just a freaking rigmarole. And finally, I think like the 4th visit, he finally was like, okay, you know, I can see where you might be getting a little bit concerned. We'll have her tested. Here's the only woman that you need to go see. And I went to go see her, which was a stupid woman, a joke of I want to curse. But she came back and she tested Gabby. My daughter's name is Gabby. She tested her and she was like, oh no, she's behavioral. She's doing this because she's not getting what she wants. She was 1 year old and beating her head on the side of her bed. You know, like she would slap herself. She was not walking. She was not talking. She was not doing any of those milestones. She would not say mommy. She would just make utters about things, and she didn't speak until she was 3. So, to have her do so well, and we really, once I told the doctor who evaluated her off. So I was foul, I was mean, I almost got like security called on me because I was not having it. Like, what the hell are you talking about? A 1-year-old child with a behavioral problem? Like, I need to be more disciplined? No, she's a baby. There's no freaking way. So anyway, I had her evaluated with 3 other people, a pediatric neurologist, a pediatric psychologist who dealt with all of this, and with a university. So we brought her to LSU, Louisiana State University. We brought her there, had her evaluated, and each and every one was amazing. They were amazing. They were fantastic. They came back all consecutively with the same thoughts. They intercommunicated with each other. They told me what I needed to do, that I needed to involve her in speech therapy because children have a brain-blood boundary after they reach a certain age. They learn what they learn, and you know, you have to kind of pack it in that short amount of time. There's a small window that you have to pack it in. So anyway, long story short, she went from a nonverbal 3-year-old who didn't walk hardly. She was very, very, very delayed, to a extraordinary 20-year-old woman who drives, who takes care of herself. She has a job. She works for the university that she's going to. She's going to a major university in the medical field, and she wants to help other kids who have autism. So that just makes my heart just burst. I love her so much for that. She's really overcome a lot of adversity. My youngest daughter is doing fan-freaking-tastic. She is 16, as I mentioned before. She is a firecracker. She is unbelievably smart. She teaches herself different musical instruments. She's taught herself piano. I've posted on my Instagram stories of her playing piano. She plays classical piano. She plays everything. She's learning the flute right now. She plays the tuba at school. In the school band. She is teaching herself guitar. She's teaching herself a second language. She is a phenomenal artist. I post her stuff on my Insta stories all the time. And I've actually gotten a lot of inquiries about her artwork. It's unfreaking believable. And that's just not me being a proud mom. She's really, really good. So anyway, my kids are doing fantastic. They're making straight A's. Gabby is on the dean's list at school. Lauren is like a 3.8 3.8 or 3.9. She's doing fantastic. She's in honors. She just got inducted into the Honor Society. I am a proud mama. Can I tell you? I'm a proud mom. All right. So the next question is from Beth Knight. She asked, she says, I like all of your outfits and wouldn't mind owning any one of them. In the Northeast, we call them sneakers. Okay, she was answering a question that I asked in that video. My question for you in your Q&A, how did your makeup talent evolve? And what did your joy for fashion and beauty start to express itself in your life? Okay, so I'm going to answer the first question first. She actually asked 3 questions, and I'll get to the third one in just a second. So how did your makeup talent evolve? Well, my makeup talent evolved with a lot of practice. So 2000 to 2004, I was working nights at a hospital so that I could, in the daytime, bring my daughter, Gabby, to speech therapists, occupational therapists, different doctor's appointments, whatever she needed. I wanted to be able to be there for her and not ask somebody else to do it. I was a very young mom. I had her at 20. And it was a lot of learning. I grew up with her. I worked at a hospital and I got pregnant in 2004 with Lauren, who is my youngest daughter. And my husband, during that time, he was working shift work for a power plant. I don't know if he was working for a power plant at that time or another plant. But anyway, he worked shift work and I was working nights. So there was no way that we can juggle a newborn baby and a daughter who needed a lot of, therapies and stuff continually. So he said, you know what, you need to quit your job and do what you need to do. I make enough money for you to stay home. So that's what I did. And over the course of time, I was just really interested in makeup. I've always been interested in makeup. Even when I was a kid, like my gran would give me a lipstick from Estee Lauder that she didn't want. If she got it in like this holiday kit or whatever, she would give it to me. Or my mom would give me some makeup. And I got Tinkerbell makeup when I was little. Y'all remember Tinkerbell makeup. And then it just sort of grew from there. I tried my hand at YouTube. At the time, I didn't like it. And it just wasn't something, I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I wanted to be behind the camera. So I started my beauty blog. And even though I was still behind the camera, I would still take pictures of myself. I would take pictures of the makeup. I would take pictures of myself using the makeup, kind of like Temptalia, but not Temptalia. So that's sort of how it evolved. It was just practice. And then, I had friends and friends of friends, and I would meet different people and they would want their makeup done. And then I worked for Lancome, and that's just sort of how that evolved. When I came back onto YouTube, I wanted to do makeup, but by that time, we're talking 2018 or something like that. By that time, it was so saturated. There's so many people that do makeup nowadays. I mean, you can just pick and choose. You just get lost in the scroll. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so the last question that Beth has is, have you had any education in this or are you self-taught? Probably both. Like I said before, I had that 2-week thing that I won. However, like over the course of time since like 2005, so that's 15 years ago, it's been trial and error. You try things, it doesn't work, you try it again and you make it work. It's just, that's how it is. Trial and error really and truly is the best way to learn. If you read about it, that's one thing, but if you try it with your hands, you develop the technique and it sort of becomes this muscle memory. Sort of just like anything else. You try it and you learn it. And they have a lot of people who are like, I can't do this because XYZ. You can do it. You can do it. It's just whether or not you want to do it. I mean, I understand getting old and stuff. When you're getting older and your hands start to shake or you can't see or you can't stay still or something like that, that's one thing. But if you're young and you're like, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can do it. Okay, the next question is from Cynthia Rowland. She asks, how hard is it to find fashion for your body type that is affordable? Where do you get your fashion inspiration from? So, really and truly, I don't find it too hard to find fashion for my body type anymore. Now, I haven't always been plus size. I have Hashimoto's disease and I have hypothyroidism. So I have a underactive thyroid. It's a lazy ass thyroid. And for some reason, it just has made me put on weight over the course of years, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being a bigger girl now. I wasn't before, you know, but you live and you become comfortable in your own skin, and it just takes time. But when clothing brands start to evolve and they started putting out stuff that was not so drab, that was whenever I was able to really find stuff. So Walmart has really come a long way. They used to put out some ugly stuff back in the day. It was so terrible. So yeah, it's just been, it was like sweatpants and a long tunic shirt, and that was basically it. Like, you couldn't find cute stuff. You couldn't find jumpsuits that were plus size. You couldn't find really cute jeans that didn't have an elastic waist. You couldn't find like sweaters that had shape and things that had shape. It was all just sort of this balloon, kind of like a muumuu. 70s women who were plus size, 80s women who were plus size, I feel for you, because they really had no options. So nowadays, I think we're sort of spoiled for taste, spoiled for choice, because really and truly brands are really catching on to it, and they should. I mean, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and plus size women of all sizes, whether you're a plus size at a 12 or whether you're a plus size at a 40, should have the opportunity to feel beautiful. They want to walk around and have someone look at them in a positive way and not a negative way. They want to have somebody who asks them where they got their top from or where they got their shoes from. And for brands to not accommodate for women and men who are plus sized is, one, a lost opportunity in money, because we're willing, we're able, we're trying to spend our money on that stuff. And two, is such a disservice to people who have feelings and have thoughts and you know, want to belong in a society who shuns them. And it's such a shame. It really, really is. It kind of pisses me off. I think Terra and Sky is one brand that can come a long way. Terra and Sky does have some cute little key things that that are sort of like a diamond in the rough. But when it comes to like the grand scale of plus size women who are 24 and over, it still needs a lot of work. All right, y'all. So the next question, I actually forgot to put it on my paperwork. I am so sorry, but I do remember the question, and I don't remember who it was from. So please forgive me. I will include her name in the description box below. But she asked me if I enjoyed reading books, something of that nature, and if so, what books would I recommend? Am I reading something right now? And to answer your question, honestly, I am not a book reader. Books are not my thing. I mean, every once in a while, a book will spark my interest, like a biography book. A couple of months ago, or maybe a year or so ago, I finished a book about Edwin Edwards. He was the Louisiana governor who was entirely, completely corrupt. And so I read his biography. And I do like to read different like poetry books. I like to read Walt Whitman. I like to read really old style books. So like Dante's Inferno, Paradise Lost, like those types of genre things, which is basically poetry, but it's sort of very, it's like sets off this whole feeling. I do enjoy reading those types of books. But it's been a while since I've sat down and read a book. I just bought The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so that should be here, I think, today. So I'm going to be reading that book. But my daughter sent me a book a couple of days ago, and she says, "Mom, you have to read this book. It is a must." So I took a picture of it, and I'm going to show you. She showed me the picture on Goodreads, and I could not believe that this was an actual book. So the book is called Kissing the Coronavirus by MJ Edwards. So basically this book takes place in a laboratory. So it's a laboratory. She is this renowned scientist who is trying to look at the cure or find the cure for the coronavirus. And she begins to get frisky with the files of coronavirus. So her name is Alexa Ashington-Ford. So very, very English. And would y'all be interested in me reading like a couple of passages of this? It is amazing. It's life-changing. So this is basically not considered a book per se. It's more of a long essay. It's not that very long. So the first passage goes like this. Dr. Alexa Ashington-Ford stared at the test tube between her fingers, her perfectly pinked manicured nails clashing with the pale bubbling liquid inside. She recognized the power she had in her grip, the virus which had claimed so many lives and which made her heart beat furiously like a wild tiger thrashing in its cage. The coronavirus. Despite the devastation the virus had caused around the globe, Alexa felt a rush of excitement every time she picked up the corona sample like a pulsating, erect penis, desperate to unleash its devastation on anyone who touched it. Oh, it had been so long since Alexa had been with a man. That virus was the only thing that she could get near, to which gave her any sort of thrill. The tickle in her knickers, which she worked with the sample, was the only sexual release she had experienced since the virus had unleashed hell and taken its hold on the world. And now she held it in her hand, gripping it tight. She bit her lip. Imagine what she could do with it. She rubbed her hand over her breast, her nipple hardening like a tic-tac. And that's where I'm going to leave you on that. It just gets better and better. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I was left a little tingly when I finished reading it. Anyway, next question is from Dustin Hunter. And he says, Halloween costume, spooky or slutty? Well, since I'm going with this book here, I'm thinking a little bit of both. I just can't get a freaking grip. I mean, come on. Okay, so the next question is from Kimberly Boudreau, and she asks, what is the one thing that you'd want to take with you everywhere? Traveling, shopping, visiting family, etc. And I would have to say a toilet. If y'all watch my, it's like, what's in my purse video? I can't remember what I called. I think I called it like, what's in my Armageddon purse or something like that. You would get what I'm saying. I don't like to go to the bathroom, particularly number 2. I don't like to go to the bathroom any place but my house. Now, to be more specific with you, if I could take my bidet with me, I would take it with me everywhere. At this point, I am completely and utterly obsessed with a bidet. I bought a bidet on Amazon a couple of years ago, and since I bought that sucker, I have gotten every single person in my family onto one, including some friends. So we bought one for downstairs, our downstairs master bathroom, and I was in immediate love with that sucker. It's a little, you know, exciting at first. You kind of feel like an exclamation point. You're like, ooh, you know, it's a little surprising at first, but you get used to it and you really don't understand how much toilet paper you go through when you go to the bathroom. So it cuts down on toilet paper like 80 to 90%. It's amazing. It was particularly amazing to have during the pandemic when the whole like toilet paper Charmin gate went down, because, you know, you have a bidet, oh my God, I'm catching a cramp. It's been really helpful. So we bought one, and then I bought my mom one. And I remember my dad was like, I'm never going to use that. No way. And now he's hooked on it. My mother-in-law bought one. Her sister came to visit, and she bought one after that for all of her bathrooms. I bought one for my best friend who lives in Washington State. Like every single person who has ever used one in my house has then gone and bought one, or we bought them one, and it's a complete life changer. And you think they're going to be expensive, but no, they're really not. The one that I bought on Amazon was like 25 bucks. It's legit worth it. It's amazing. Now, you don't want to get the ones that are all fancy schmancy. You don't need one with all the bells and whistles. You don't need one with a dryer. You don't need one with a UV light. Just get the regular cold water, regular bidet, and it will change your life. Cheap, easy, and it conserves on the environment. It's amazing. All right, y'all. So the second to last set of questions is from Veronica Gondik. I hope I'm saying your name right. Please forgive me if I'm not. But she says, I'm new to your channel, so I would love to know more about you. Do you have kids? Are you married? Is YouTube your main job? What YouTubers do you like to watch? I don't know, just info about yourself. By the way, I loved your first 3 outfits. They looked beautiful on you. Thank you so, so much. So yes, I have 2 daughters. Both of them are pretty much grown up. I have a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old, and one is in college, as I mentioned before, and the other one is still in high school. She's a junior, and they are the loves of my life. Am I married? Yes, I am. I've been married for 20 years. We just made 20 years June 16th. So yeah, a long time married. I got married when I was 20. I had my daughter when I was 20. I was an early bloomer. So your next question was, which YouTubers do you like to watch? I like to watch a lot of YouTube. I could spend my whole day watching YouTube. I find that the YouTubers that I'm mostly subscribed to don't really upload that much anymore. I don't know if they just lost interest or if I'm not being notified or what is going on, but I find a lot of the YouTubers who've been around and been doing it for a while have really stopped uploading, have lost interest, and you can kind of tell, you know, it's like that point where you can just see that they're really not that interested anymore. Their excitement isn't there anymore. Their interaction isn't there anymore. They don't want to interact with the people. They're just sort of distancing themselves from that life. And, you know, I do get it. I'm sure there's burnout involved in that. I mean, I've been burned out before. Like, I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to upload. I don't know what people are going to like, whether or not they're going to like me. You know how it is. Yeah, I like to watch Casey Holmes. She's one that I like to watch a lot. She's a makeup video channel. I like to watch Leanne Says. She is a really down-to-earth girl from Texas. Casey Holmes is from Georgia. I like to watch Nima Tang. She is actually from Dallas who moved to Los Angeles. So she is a absolutely gorgeous woman. She's also a bit plus size. She's so pretty, but she does makeup stuff. So I am interested in more of the makeup realm. And Dustin Hunter, I am still subscribed to them. I'm involved in his Patreon. He uploads pretty regularly on there. He's been doing YouTube for 10 years or something like that. And he is freaking fantastic. I love his content. He can upload anything from a comedy skit to music to fashion videos, like craft videos, makeup videos. Like, he can do just about anything, and it's super duper entertaining. I just love him. Goldie Starling, she does like special effects here on YouTube. She's kind of gotten away from the whole posting thing. I don't know why, but now she just does stuff on her Instagram channel. Anyway, I'll include a scrolling thing of all the different YouTubers that I am subscribed to. None of them are fashion though, and that's the weird thing about me. I'm like really into makeup stuff. I could watch makeup videos all day, every damn day. But I'm not really interested in fashion videos, if that makes sense. Oh, that's not true. There's one called, shoot, I can't remember her name right now. She does like DIY stuff where she shows you like no-sew clothing, but it's like all trendy stuff, like stuff that you can see from Jimmy Choo and Chanel and Gucci and, you know, all these really high-end designers, but you can make it yourself. She is amazing. I don't know why she doesn't have more subscribers than she does, but it's like a sin. So I'm going to include her in the list of people as well. All right, I am back. I just had to change my battery really quickly. Her last question was, let us know some information about yourself. Let us know more about you. So let's see, more about me. I'm the only child. I was born in 1980, so I am completely an 80s baby. I enjoyed all of the festivities of the 80s. I enjoyed the punk rock of the 80s. I enjoyed the rave scene of the 90s. I was a rotten ass kid. My first car was a 1990 Eagle Talon. It was navy blue, and whenever I was 16, I think I was 16, I rear-ended my math teacher. I rear-ended my math teacher. And so I had one, like I had flip up lights, and I had one light that worked. So I had one light that worked and one light that was just jammed down. Let's see. I wrecked that car in 1999, completely totaled it. I got rear-ended on my way home from work. I was working for an engineering firm at the time, and that was in 1999, so that was before I got pregnant. Let's see, I lived out on my own at that time, so I moved out whenever I was, I think, 18 and a half, maybe 19 and a little. I can't remember. It was like 98 or 99. So I moved out when I was 18 to an apartment with my then boyfriend, who is now my husband. So we've been together for 22 years, something like that, maybe even longer. So I have 2 kids, but I was pregnant 4 times, so I lost 2. I lost one after Gabby, so it would have been like 2 years after I had her that I got pregnant again, which was planned. I wanted to have another child. It's like I was born to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom. I've always wanted to be a mom. So yeah, I had a pretty traumatic miscarriage then, and then a couple of months later, we tried again. I wanted to have another baby, and I also miscarried that one on Christmas Day. So in the hospital that I worked for, I was thinking about this story a couple of days ago, actually. The hospital that I worked for, I was supposed to be working Christmas, and ended up having a miscarriage. So I had to call in, of course, because, you know, everything that goes along with a miscarriage, which is not very good. I think I was like 16 weeks, something like that. So I was a little far along. And my boss at the time wanted me to fax over my emergency room discharge papers, which is horrendous. But you know, I was 23 at the time. So I did. And when I went to work like 3 or 4 days later, she wasn't there. And my discharge papers with all of my information, everything that I had to have done, all of the stuff that happened in the emergency room was on her desk in the middle of everybody else, because it was a big long room with cubicles, and her desk was right there in the middle of it all with my medical records right then and there. And I was freaking furious, let me tell you. So yeah, that was not fun. Let's see. I like all types of genres of music. I don't really have one genre that I like. I like it all. I like oldies. I like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and nowadays music. I like old country music with like Hank Williams Jr. and Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and Dolly Parton. I like all that stuff. I like, you know, classic rock with the old Aerosmiths and the old Led Zeppelins, and, you know, I like all that stuff. I like Europop. I think that's probably my favorite music that kind of makes me want to move. It makes me want to groove. I want to have a good time. It just sort of like peps you up and makes you in a really good mood. That's the stuff I like to like clean with. I'm an organizer, if you haven't gotten that from the earlier topics that we were talking about. I really enjoyed organizing. I like to take things out of cabinets and closets and then reorganize it to where it's aesthetically pleasing and it looks nice, particularly towels. I like to take out towels, take them all out, refold them, and so they're all nice and neat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Both of my parents are alive. They're still married. We live in North Alabama now, all of us. So as I mentioned before, we flooded. So my parents moved up here. My mother-in-law moved up here. We built a mother-in-law suite for her, so she lives right close by, just in case anything is needed or whatever. And yeah, we're just like a close-knit Cajun family. We love to cook. We love to have get-togethers and eat. Final question is, I'm a fairly new sub, so I don't know if you've already answered these questions, such as tell us a bit more about your personal background. If you would not mind, hobbies, favorite things to do besides scouting fashionable items at your favorite store, and do you have live animals, and can we get an intro? Okay, so first bit about that, I've already answered the question as a personal background stuff, so you probably already know that already. Hobbies. Okay, hobbies, I like to garden. That's always a fun thing. Just sit there and kind of like talk to the plants. That's always fun. I like to take care of my animals, going into the animals realm. I have a 5.5-year-old potbelly pig. His name is Amos. I have a playlist with all of his information, so if you're interested in that, please check it out. He is my heart and soul. I love him so much. He's an inside outside pig, so he sleeps inside. He has his own bed, which is in the closet of my clothes, but every single night it's almost like he is a baby. He wants to take his blankets and he comes and he lays right beside my bed. So I put all of my pillows out and I make him a little bed, and that's where he sleeps. But he's not little, he's 400 pounds. So he was supposed to be small. When we got him, they said that he was going to be 50 pounds max and the size of a Cocker Spaniel, and that was a lie. Also, I love to cook. I love cooking. As I mentioned before, I used to write a column for a newspaper, a local newspaper in our area. It was called The Creole, and appropriately named, I loved to cook. So I made all the recipes for that website and for that newspaper. And it was a really, really fun job. That was one of the best jobs that I think I've ever had. Favorite things to do besides scouting fashionable fashion items at your favorite store. I love to roast marshmallows. I love to sit by a campfire. I like to sit by a campfire and drink beer with friends. I like to watch scary movies. I like to go swim. I love the water. I've mentioned that in a 50 Facts About Me video. I love the water. Whether I'm swimming in an ocean or a pond or a lake or whatever, I love it. And being from South Louisiana, you swim with a lot of wildlife, so alligators and snakes and that type of thing. So yeah, I love the water. I love spending time by water, so fishing and sunbathing and that type of thing. It's all fun. Favorite things to do. Let's see what else. I like spending time with a lot of family, so I like having get-togethers. I like cooking. That's something that we do in the South. I don't know if that's like a United States thing or what, but in the South, especially a Cajun family, when you get together, you have a lot of food. So when me and my husband got together, we had 2 family get-togethers. So we would go to my family first in the morning and then his for lunch and then mine in the afternoon again. There was always sprawling foods. Everything you can think of. It's like a freaking Shoney's buffet. It was so much food. Good food too. So that's what also helped me pack on the pounds, because all that good Cajun food. Let's see. Do you live with animals? And if so, can we get an intro? As I mentioned before, I have Amos, which is my potbelly pig. We have 2 cats. I really wouldn't consider one of them ours. The one is ours. His name is Gandalf. It's also Kit Gary Gandalf Carrington II. But we call him Gary because he just seems like a Gary. And then we have Callie, who is my mother-in-law's cat. They both came from the same house, so they both came from my mom's house. But my mother-in-law actually adopted Callie, and then we took Gary. So he is a white, sort of a Siamese. He's sort of got cross eyes. That's him. And Callie is a female calico, and she is a nut. She is a crazy freaking cat. I love her so much. And then we have lots of chickens. We used to have a lot more chickens, but a lot of them passed away. Chicken hawks, and we had like some weird respiratory disease that just like swooped through and killed a couple of our chickens. Anyway, we have pet chickens, and now we have 2 dogs. As of March of this year, March of 2020, we had gone outside. Actually, my mom is she's the culprit. We were like having dinner or something, and she went outside to do something. She called me. She was like, "Mandy, come out here quick." And so, of course, you know, my mom was calling me in a friggin' batshit way. I'm gonna go find out. And sure enough, there was these 2 little puppies who were so sick. They were so sick and so malnourished and so emaciated that we decided to take them in. My mom and my husband, they are the culprits. And I'm so glad that we did. I gave them a bath, and they're like fluffy dogs. So we didn't realize just how sickly they were until we gave them a bath, and they were flea bitten and they had ticks all over, and they were just skin and bones. So from that point on, we decided if somebody doesn't claim them on Facebook, if somebody doesn't claim them at the vet, we brought them at the vet and make sure they weren't microchipped, then we were going to keep them. And now we have Bobby Boucher. So Bobby is like the goofy, if you've ever seen Waterboy. That name fits him to a T. Let me tell you, he is the goofiest freaking dog. And Sammy, aka Weezer Boudreaux. So if you've ever seen Steel Magnolia, she's the crabby one on the movie. It's if you haven't seen Steel Magnolia, shame on you. So Sammy, aka Weezer, is the star. She has to be the center of attention. She's also a little bit on the bitchy side. She can be fussy and sassy, but she runs the show, let me tell you. So Bobby Boucher and Weezer Boudreaux. All right, y'all. I think that is all the questions, and this is going to be like an hour-long video. I hope y'all had a lot of fun learning more about me and what I do and my vibe and my family life. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I just want to say, and I say this all the time, but it kind of gets redundant, and I don't think y'all think that I mean it. I am so appreciative of every single one of y'all who like and comment and interact with me. It just feeds my soul. I know a lot of YouTubers say this. A lot of YouTubers are like, "Oh, I love y'all so much." And I'm like, "No, you don't." You don't even know me. But I know some of y'all. Like, I have gotten to know some of y'all. Like, it's noticeable if you don't comment. Like, if you're not around, I'm wondering about you. Like, I'm genuinely like concerned. Some of y'all have just been around for so long, and I've gotten to email and interact, and you follow me on Instagram, so you get to see whole different sides of me. So I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. It really means the world to me, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You just have no idea. It's just a cool thing that I get to do. I'm super excited that I have this job, this hobby. And yeah, I hope y'all consider keeping on subscribing and keeping on watching me, because yeah, let's do this together. So thank y'all once again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please stay safe and stay healthy, and I'm gonna be seeing y'all very soon. Bye.